So with fall slowly approaching, I decided that I was going to ask you guys in the community tab, if you had to pick one fall fragrance from your collection above all others, what would it be, niche or designer? And then also comment it in that post. And so I decided to go through and pick the top 5 the most popular choices from that list, as well as 2 runners up, as there was a lot of really close ones. And so in this video, I'm going to be giving you the 5 subscriber choice fall fragrances now that we are about to head into fall with the end of the summer. So without further ado, let's get it. Alright, my great smelling dudes, welcome back to my channel. This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back with another fragrance video. Thank you so much for joining me again. Again, this is going to be a list that you guys chose. So I did a comment thing in my community tab, asked you guys, what is your favorite fall fragrance? You guys wrote them all, some of them got likes, and then a lot of them were just repeats, and so I decided to choose the top 5 from that list, as well as 2 runners up. Again, they were all really close, so before I get into that, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications if you do like my content, if you're new, whatnot. But thank you guys so much. You will get the videos quicker if you do hit that bell. So I'm going to start out with the runners up here. The first one here, this got a few likes. I did 2 posts because the one people were confused on what I was asking. But this one is by Guerlain. It is L'HOMME EDP Extreme. So this is a fragrance that is the best in the line by far. It has plum, it has cinnamon, it has leather, I believe, as well as almond. And really what you get is you get that L'HOMME EDP DNA, that nice little bit powdery but also slightly creamy almond, mixed with a nice juicy plum in the opening that's a little bit warm, a little bit dark. It's a really nice fragrance. It's fruity, a little bit spicy, sweet, creamy, really good. L'HOMME EDP Extreme. And the other runner-up, this is going to be a staple in a lot of collections by Dolce & Gabbana. It is the one Eau de Parfum. So the one Eau de Parfum is your ambery tobacco fragrance. It's resinous, it's sweet. The only thing is the projection on this entire line is pretty much not that great. If you want more projection, I would go with Luminous Night. But this is going to be anything for somebody who likes the sweet, somebody who likes the tobacco, the ambers. Dolce & Gabbana, the one Eau de Parfum, great fragrance. Now moving into the top 5. I'm not going to put this in any order, but this is going to be, I will put the most popular one last, but I'm going to go here and start with the first one. This one is not one that I'm a gigantic fan of. I am coming around to it a little bit more and more, but I feel like it's kind of just like a basic date night fragrance. But with that said, it does smell really nice. By Prada, this is Prada Black. So this is advertised as an ambery, musky, woody fragrance, and some of the main notes that you get in it are bergamot, coumarin, amber, and musk. And so, like I said, whenever I first just was talking about that, is that it is a very simple fragrance. There's only a few things going around with it. It is amber, there is musk, there's a little bit of woods and a little bit of spice, but for the most part, it's just an ambery, musky fragrance. And if you wanted to simplify it to just that, it could be just an ambery fragrance. That's all you really need to know. It's warm, it's a little bit spicy, but for the most part, it's musky, it's warm, it's sweet. And so while it's great for date nights and more for the fall and winter, Prada Black is going to be a staple in a lot of people's collections who don't want to go too overboard with something like Paul Gaultier's Ultra Mall or something that's going to push out a lot, because this will give you above average projection, but it's not going to offend anybody, again, because it is a simplified fragrance. But if you do like those sweet ambery fragrances, a little bit resinous, but then you also like musks added in, and a little tiny bit of woods in the dry down, then that's what you're going to get from Prada Black. It's not really worth talking about much more. I'm getting my nose around it more and more, and so hopefully I do end up really liking it and enjoying it like some of you guys do. But at this point in time, it's just a middle of the pack fragrance. But that is Prada Black, one of the most popular fragrances out there from what a lot of people are saying for date nights. You can wear it all year round because it does have a freshness in there from that bergamot in the opening. And then it also has a little bit of those musks that also provide just a tiny bit of freshness, allowing you to wear it in the spring and summer. The next one on my list is going to be one that I am really happy that you guys chose. There was either this one or the Most Wanted Parfum, but this one had the most picks, and this was Most Wanted Eau de Parfum Intense. So there's only 3 notes that was written on it, and really that's the only things you really need to know. And those notes are cardamom, toffee, and amberwood. So this is a fresh gourmand. So that's what I really like about this fragrance and why it is probably my favorite fragrance, no matter designer or niche. Because it can be worn all year round. While it is more of a fall and wintertime fragrance for sure, you can wear it in the spring and summer at nighttime, and it will work just perfectly for you. During the fall and winter, you can pretty much wear it anytime that you want. So when you first spray it on, you get that cardamom. You also get that sweet toffee that gives it that gourmand facet. And then you also do get some amber coming in from that amberwood to give it a little bit of a sweet resinous background. Once you get into the dry down, that cardamom kind of dissipates and just leaves a little bit of that fresh spiciness in the background, while you do get that toffee coming forward and then amberwood coming forward again, giving it now a little bit more of a sweet woods mixed with the toffee. It is gourmand, it's fresh, it's a little bit spicy, it is fantastic. And again, this got a couple more votes than the Most Wanted Parfum, so I decided to go with this. But it's definitely worth trying either one. This is my staple in my collection. This is my go-to fragrance for pretty much any ideal situation, especially at nighttime. My wife absolutely loves it. It is a compliment puller through and through, super sexy fragrance, Most Wanted Parfum, or Eau de Parfum Intense. Now moving on to the third one. This one, I'm surprised it landed in the fall and wintertime fragrance category, because to me it is more all year round versatility just for the nighttime, but I guess I can see it being in the fall. From YSL, this is Yves Saint Laurent Y Le Parfum. So this is advertised as an aromatic, fresh, warm, spicy fragrance, and some of the main notes that you get in this are apple, ginger, lavender, tonka bean, and olibanum. So I talked about this the other day in my, not only in its own video, but then also in a Yves Saint Laurent Y buying guide. And I told you that this is probably my favorite fragrance in the line, if not Y Live, but they are completely different. So this takes that YSL Y Eau de Parfum DNA, that apple ginger, dials down the sweetness just a bit, although it is still sweet, darkens it just a bit, but not too dark. It also makes it really refined. It is beautiful, and especially now the dry down gets you that tonka bean coming in there, gives it that sweetness, still has a little bit of that woody aromaticness in there. It is a beautiful fragrance through and through. It's going to be a 9.5 out of 10 for me. It is a huge compliment puller. My wife loves it. It lasts 12 to 14 hours. It doesn't offend anybody, but it still projects nicely. Really good fragrance. There's nothing I could ever say wrong about this. It is legit almost one of the most perfect designer fragrances out there. If you have not got your nose on it, you need to. You can find this actually, I don't like the price of $160 in the United States. So either wait for the YSL's 50% off sale to get it at a little bit under $100, or go on News Parfums, which I got this for $72. So that's Yves Saint Laurent Y Le Parfum. Fantastic date night fragrance. I wouldn't wear it outside the nighttime unless it is really cold outside. So the fourth one on my list, and the reason I had to cut it off is because I thought I grabbed Stronger With You Absolutely, but I accidentally grabbed Intensely, which gives me a headache. So this one was the one that you guys voted on as the best Stronger With You version. Even though there was a lot of Stronger With Yous mentioned, this was the one that was mentioned the most in both posts. And so this is Stronger With You Absolutely by Emporio Armani. No matter what anybody tells you, it's the best in the line. Stronger With You Oud, Stronger With You Leather, Stronger With You Intensely. None of them match up to this one. This one is the most unique and just has the best overall feeling to it. A lot of people say that the Most Wanted smells like the Stronger With You Intensely or Stronger With You line. This is the only one that I kind of understand what you're talking about, but still they're kind of separate. But with that said, it's a rum vanilla sweet fragrance, and the main notes that you get in Stronger With You Absolutely are rum, elemi, chestnut, vanilla, and cedar. So you still do get that Stronger With You DNA right in the opening. You get that vanilla, that elemi, that chestnut that was taken out in the Intensely, and then now it was put back in. It's a bit nutty, and then you also do get this nice boozy note that's in the background in the opening. It just comes across as a really nice boozy note from that rum. So then you get, again, that LME, that chestnut, and then as you work your way into the dry down, that is where you get this nice aromatic cedar note coming in. It gives it a little bit of a woody backbone along with that rum. It's almost like the Stronger With You DNA, if it's smoother, more refined, and then mixed with like a wood barrel full of rum. It's really nice, and you get those woody aspects. It's smooth. My wife really loves it, and she doesn't really like this line that much. And I know I'm talking about her a lot, but these are her favorite fragrances, and you guys chose them, so you did a really good job. I honestly don't have many complaints with this line, except for maybe Prada Black, but I understand that. There was also another one, Armani Code Absolute, that would have been a runner-up, but I don't have the bottle because I sold it because I don't like it. But with that said, that is Stronger With You, absolutely. It lasts about 10 hours at minimum. It doesn't project as much as intensely, but it is pretty close. It's above average. So let's get into the last one, and the one that was voted on the most. I didn't know what to pick because there was legit about 30 votes for the line itself, not the actual fragrance. But this seemed like this one was the one to pick. I could have probably had this entire list be Parfums de Marly, but this is Parfums de Marly Layton. So you're probably asking yourself, why don't you have the full bottle? It's Layton. Because I was sent this, and I have 3 of them. It is a 20 milliliter decant, so now I have 60 mils of that, and then I also have 2 decants of it from Scentbox because they sent me a double pack, and that is 10 milliliters, so I have 70, 80 milliliters of Layton, so I'm not buying a bottle until I get this. Layton is probably the best fall niche out there. People will argue with me, just as far as mass appeal is concerned, it is the best fall niche out there for sure. It's known for the apple, the aromatics, the sweetness in there. But I will give you the main notes without giving away the whole fragrance first. So the main notes in Layton are apple, vanilla, geranium, and sandalwood. It's a warm, fresh, spicy fragrance with a little bit of aromatics in there. When you first spray it on, you get that apple note that a lot of people know from the Layton line. It's not a juicy, clean, crisp apple. While it still does have a little bit of those facets, it's more of like this warmer apple that you only know from Layton. And a lot of people are trying to copy it. You also do get undertones of some spices, as well as that vanilla. And then you have, like, it's surrounded by geranium. I believe there's lavender in there. And there's a couple other, like, green aspects that are just surrounding the fragrance. But for the most part, concentrate on the apple, the vanilla, a little bit of spices, and some woody aromatics. And that is what you get from this fragrance. The geranium might be a focal point in there because it does add a bit of freshness. But when I say freshness, don't think this is going to be like a spring summer fragrance. This is a fall and winter time fragrance through and through. You could get away with it where I live until probably April or May because it is about 70 degrees or less. And Layton is a fantastic fragrance. Don't get me wrong. It is my second favorite Parfums de Marly. I like Oajan better. But with that said, they are worn for 2 different situations, and this one is more versatile than Oajan. It's a date night fragrance, but if you like the note of apple, if you like the sweeter fragrances, a little bit resinous fragrances, but also those that have a little bit of freshness in there, also some aromatics, Layton is going to do that for you. Once you get to the dry down, it smoothens out and has that woody aromatics and then a really nice, like, spicy, vanillic sweetness in there. And that apple surprisingly stays there for about 5 hours. The fragrance lasts about 9. But with that said, sometimes it lasts longer depending on the weather outside. It projects really nicely in the cold, eats through the cold really nice. It is actually a beast mode projector depending on the temperature. But that is Parfums de Marly Layton. And again, you guys picked all of them, so Prada Black is the only one I'm unsure about on this list. It's your ambery musky fragrance. You have Azzaro, the most wanted Eau de Parfum. It's your gourmand fresh fragrance, Parfums de Marly Layton. Your apple, vanilla, resinous, slightly fresh fragrance. You got a Stronger With You Absolutley, which is your rum vanilla fragrance, and then with chestnut. And then you have your YSL Y Le Parfum, which is your classy, smooth, refined version of the YSL Y DNA with a little bit of a sweet tonka bean that comes in the dry down. So great picks, everybody. Swear to God, I mean, these are amazing. Even the runners-up are my favorites. L'HOMME EDP Extreme, Dolce & Gabbana, the one Eau de Parfum Intense. I can't wait for fall to fully get here. Next week, I'm going to be doing more of a end of summer fragrances and gather that from you guys. But I just wanted to, with fall looking around the corner for most of us, I just wanted to do this list so that some of you guys, if you wanted to pick some up before fall gets here, that is a great list for you guys to start out with. And then also you got your introductory niche, just in case, and you can find that for a good deal on Venba Fragrance or on Aura Fragrance. They are about 150, 160 bucks. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another one. Peace out.